When you hear the word foreclosure, you probably think it's the absolute end of the line, financially speaking, right? But what if it wasn't? What if I told you that even after a home is lost, there could be money, actual cash, left over that legally belongs to the person who lost the home? Sounds kind of wild, I know, but it's a real thing, and we're going to dive into it. So, to get our heads around this whole forgotten money thing, we're looking at materials from the real experts. Everything in this explainer comes from the Gabel Recovery Group. They're a veteran-led team, and this is exactly what they do. They navigate this super specific, kind of confusing financial world. So yeah, let's really dig into that big question. The key to all of this? The answer? It's a term that almost nobody knows about. It's called surplus funds. Surplus funds. Okay. What does that even mean? Well, put it this way. When a house is foreclosed on and sold at auction, if it sells for more money than what was owed on it, that extra cash doesn't just, disappear into thin air. It legally 100% belongs to the former homeowner. And the really important thing to get here is that this isn't some weird loophole or a trick. It's literally the law. All right, so how does this forgotten money even come to exist in the first place? Let's trace the path. We're going to follow the money from the moment the gavel hits at the auction all the way to where it ends up, sitting in the county's bank account, just waiting for someone to claim it. Think of it like a chain reaction, right? It all kicks off with the foreclosure notice. Then the property goes up for public auction. The money from that sale, it gets used to pay off all the debts. We're talking taxes, what's left on the mortgage, any legal or admin fees. And if there's any cash left over after all of that is settled, that is the surplus. And the county just holds on to it, kind of like a neutral referee, keeping it safe for the person it actually belongs to. Okay, so we've established the money is real. It's out there. But how in the world do you prove it's yours? This is where we get into the nitty-gritty, the paper trail. We're talking about the exact documents you need to prove you have a legal right to that cash. Now, if you were the original homeowner, it's actually pretty straightforward. You're going to need 3 basic things. Proof that the auction happened, proof that you actually owned the place, like the deed with your name right on it, and of course you got to prove you are who you say you are, so a government ID. That's it. Those 3 things are the foundation of your whole claim. But what if you're trying to claim this money for a relative who's passed away? Well, that's where things get a bit more complicated. On top of all the property paperwork, you have to legally prove you're connected to them. That means you'll need things like a death certificate and official legal documents, a will, a probate order, something that clearly states you are the heir or the executor of the estate. I've got to be honest with you, getting this money back isn't something that happens overnight, not even close. You're dealing with courts, county clerks, legal notices, the whole 9 yards. So it's super important to have realistic expectations. Let's walk through what that timeline actually looks like. So the journey kicks off with you getting all your documents together and submitting them. Easy enough. But then you hit the administrative review, and that can take a while. After that, you've usually got these legal notice periods to wait through. And only then do you finally get to the last step, the payout. Each piece takes its own sweet time, and you can't skip ahead. So, what's the big takeaway here? Patience. Seriously. The source material is really clear on this. You're looking at a minimum of 90 days. And if your case is even a little bit complicated, it can take way, way longer. Honestly, this whole complex process is a huge reason why so much of this money just sits there, unclaimed. It's definitely a marathon, not a sprint. Okay, so what if you're listening to this and thinking, hey, this might actually apply to me, or maybe to someone you know? What do you do next? Let's break it down into a super simple step-by-step checklist to get you started. All right, here's the game plan. 5 easy steps. First, get those core documents we talked about all gathered up. Step 2, it's a really good idea to contact a specialist, someone like the Gabel Group, because they can handle all the tricky legal stuff for you. After that, you sign a fee agreement, and then the most important part for you is just being quick to respond when they need something. Do that, and the last step is getting your money. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking. This sounds expensive. And if you're hesitant to even start because of that, this next part is huge. A lot of these recovery firms work on what's called a contingency basis. This quote from our source says it perfectly. They only get paid if they actually get your money back for you. They cover all the upfront costs, all the legal fees, which means there is absolutely no financial risk to you. 0. And that brings us right back to where we began. Look, a foreclosure is a devastating experience, no doubt about it. But maybe, just maybe, it doesn't have to be the final word. It all comes down to this one powerful question. Could there be forgotten money out there, sitting in a county office, with your name on it or the name of someone you love?